Over 2 million kilograms of pistachios are eaten every single day, and they're not just disappearing by accident. These little green snacks go through a wild journey, starting in dry orchards, shaken down by machines, rushed into high-speed factories, and carefully processed to stay fresh and crunchy. From ancient desserts to high-tech packing lines, pistachios have come a long way. But what really goes on behind the scenes to turn them from tree-grown shells into snack-time favorites? Let's break it all down here in the process world.
Sheldon, we think you might be overreacting to our ads for no-shells pistachios.
Ditch the shells? Okay, strip.
What?
You ditch your shells.
Okay, yeah, that's
No,
fine.
guys, I take it back.
You want the show?
No,
You got
no
the show.
Pistachios have been around for thousands of years. People in the Middle East were eating them as early as 7000 BC, especially in what is now Iran and Afghanistan. Back then, these nuts were more than just a snack. They were a special treat, often carried by travelers and traders along the early trade routes because they were easy to store and lasted a long time. As different empires expanded, pistachios started showing up in more places. The Romans brought them west into Europe, and soon they were being grown in countries like Greece, Syria, and Italy. Pistachios quietly worked their way into Mediterranean diets and became a part of everyday life for many communities. In the 1800s, pistachios made it to the United States. For a while, they were mostly sold in small stores. They were even dyed red to make them stand out on shelves. But things changed in the 1970s when California figured out a way to grow pistachios on a large scale. With its hot summers, dry air, and cool winters, the state turned out to be the perfect place for pistachio trees to thrive. Today, California produces nearly all of America's pistachios. Massive orchards fill the Central Valley, where farmers use careful irrigation and timing to grow high-quality crops. But how do they harvest and process them? Before we get into that, please leave a like and subscribe for more amazing videos like this one. Now, moving on. Timing is everything when it comes to harvesting pistachios. Farmers wait all year for just a few crucial weeks, usually between late August and early October, when the nuts are finally ready. The signs are clear. The outer skin, called the hull, starts changing color from green to pinkish yellow. It also begins to loosen from the hard shell underneath, which means the pistachio has fully developed. At the same time, the shell naturally splits open. That little crack you see in a pistachio? That's not made in the factory. It actually happens on the tree as the nut grows and fills the shell. This natural split is a key sign that the nut is ripe and ready to be picked. Once pistachios are ready, there's no time to waste. Farmers bring in big machines, tree shakers. These machines grip the trunks and give them a strong shake, sending the ripe nuts raining down into special catch frames spread out beneath the branches. This way, the pistachios never touch the ground, keeping them clean and fresh right from the start. The process is fast and efficient. In just a few seconds, an entire tree can be cleared. For large orchards, this is the only way to keep up with the harvest window. Catch frames fold up like umbrellas and move with the shaker, making sure that the nuts are collected in one sweep. In smaller or more traditional farms, harvesting is sometimes done by hand. Workers use long poles to gently hit the branches and shake them manually. The pistachios fall into large nets laid out below. As soon as they're collected, they head straight to the next step in the journey, the processing facility, where the real transformation begins. Now, pistachios are delicate at this stage, and delays can cause real damage. So once the nuts are collected, they're loaded into bins and quickly transported to nearby processing facilities. These places are set up to handle huge amounts of pistachios within hours of them leaving the orchard. When pistachios arrive, the first step is cleaning. They go through machines that separate out leaves, twigs, dirt, and any other unwanted debris. This makes sure that the batch stays clean and doesn't pick up any smells or tastes from organic waste. From there, they move straight into the hulling stage. This is where the outer skin, known as the hull, is removed. At this stage, the hull is still soft and easy to take off, if the timing is right. Processing plants are built to move fast because leaving the hull on for too long can cause staining, spoilage, or even mold. The hulling process starts with a machine that uses a rubber roller to gently rub the nuts. These rollers press just enough to pull off the hull without cracking the shell underneath. Water jets are often added into the process to help loosen any stubborn pieces and wash the nuts clean. After hulling, the pistachios are rinsed and inspected. This helps catch any leftover debris and ensures that the shells are clean and ready for drying. The goal here is simple: get the nuts completely free of the outer skin and move them along before they start to spoil. Every second counts at this stage, and factories are set up to handle thousands of pistachios every hour, non-stop. Once they've gone through hulling and rinsing, the pistachios are clean, fresh, and ready for the next big step: drying. That's where the moisture gets removed and the crunch begins to take shape. At this stage, factories use large drying machines that blow hot air across the pistachios. The goal is to bring down the moisture level to about 5%. That's the sweet spot where the nut stays crunchy and safe for long-term storage. The temperature and airflow are carefully controlled to make sure that the nuts dry evenly without getting too hot or too dry. Some smaller farms can use sun drying by laying out the suns in thin layers and letting them dry naturally over a few days. It works, but it depends heavily on the weather, which is why most large-scale operators stick to machines for speed and consistency. Once the pistachios are fully dried, they're no longer at risk for spoiling. They're stable, crisp, and ready for the next stage. This stage is all about quality control. Factories use advanced sorting systems to handle the job quickly and accurately. The nuts move along conveyor belts, passing through machines equipped with cameras and sensors. These systems check for color, size, and shell condition of each pistachio in real time. Open shell pistachios are usually preferred, so those are sorted out separately from the ones in closed shells. If the shell is too dark, cracked, or stained, it gets flagged. Some of these defects happen during the harvesting or drying, so this step is crucial for catching anything that slipped through earlier. There are also manual checks. Workers stand at inspection tables scanning for anything that the machines might have missed. This entire process happens fast, but nothing is rushed. The goal is consistency. Every pistachio that passes through is judged by the same standards, making sure that the final product meets the expectations people have come to trust. By the time the nuts leave this stage, they're clean, sorted, and ready for the final touch. Now, some of them are ready to be packaged just as they are, raw and natural. Others head into roasting sections where the flavor gets turned up a notch. Roasting adds a warm, toasty taste that gives nuts a crunchier bite. In factories, large ovens or drum roasters are used. The pistachios are heated evenly on all sides, with the temperature and time carefully controlled. Too hot and the nuts can burn. Too cool and the flavor won't come through properly. Once they're roasted, some batches get seasoned. Salt is the most common choice, giving that classic savory taste. In other cases, producers add chili, lemon, garlic, or even sweet coatings, depending on the market and customer preferences. Every region has its favorites, and companies adjust their flavors to match. After this stage, there's only one thing left: getting them packed and ready to go. This stage isn't just about putting nuts into bags. It's about keeping them fresh, clean, and safe for a long time. Factories use automated machines that handle everything from filling the bags to sealing them tight. The most common method is vacuum sealing, which removes extra air from the package. This helps stop moisture and oxygen from getting in, two things that can ruin flavor or make the nuts go stale. Some companies take it a step further with something called modified atmosphere packaging. This method replaces the normal air inside the bag with a mix of gases like nitrogen. These gases don't affect taste, but they help keep the pistachios fresh for even longer. After sealing, the packages are labeled with important details like weight, expiration date, and where the pistachios were grown. Once the pistachios are packed and boxed, they're ready to hit the road. Trucks carry them from factories to distribution centers, where they're sorted and sent to different stores, both locally and internationally. Some shipments go directly to supermarkets, while others are sent to online sellers or bulk suppliers. And that's it. So the next time you crack open a pistachio, ask yourself this: how did a nut that needs desert heat, years of patience, laser scanners, and gas-sealed packaging become one of the world's favorite snacks? Think about it. In the meantime, please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos like this one.